Wait. I didn't realize I was muted. Oh, crap. Dude. Oh. Anyways, yeah. Hi, happy moon day. I'm gonna do it again. Nom, 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 nom. Yum, yum, yum. Happy moon day, sheeps. Good evening, good morning. Ohio gozaimasu. Konbanwa. Or konbawa. Oh, that shirt scares me. Like my shirt. Like my shirt. There's live 2D cubism on it. Wait, how am I bald? Okay, but today's stream is we're gonna be learning Blender together. Hooray! We're gonna be learning Blender today, and we're gonna do like the donut tutorial today together. I have dabbled around in Blender before, but I have not done it like extensively, I could say. I have not done it extensively. So, do we all have it installed? Do you guys have Blender installed? Come on, guys, let's go install Blender now. Come on. It's Blender time. Go install Blender.
So the first thing you need to learn is how to move around in this space. And you can orbit by middle mouse pushing. So your scroll wheel, if you just push it in until it clicks,
you can also use this
that's
one.
Your middle mouse button, and then if you just drag
this thing like
around,
up here,
you can orbit. If you don't have a middle mouse button, a lot of people don't. They're on like a laptop with a trackpad or something. You guys will struggle. It's definitely easier if you have a mouse. But in a pinch, top right-hand corner, you just mouse over this little circle and then just click and drag on. So that is how you can quickly change focus to the selected object.
You selected, so if I
all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to be using numpad period from now on. Okay, so we're making a donut. We do not need our cube here, so let's delete it. You can just hit delete on your keyboard, or what I like to do is hit X, which is the alternative way. And now I want to add a new object, and I can do that by going to add at the top of the screen there, or alternatively, the hotkey, another one to throw at you, Shift A, and that'll just put it where a cursor is, and it's the exact same list. A lamp post, you might start with a cylinder. We're starting, well, we're trying to make a donut, so we need to start with a torus. Oh, it's a wimpy looking donut though, right? It's a very, very flimsy. We want to make it look more thicker, right? So in the bottom left-hand corner, there's a little box that says add torus, and this has additional options for us. Now, if you accidentally clicked off after you added the torus, that box is gone.
Yeah, it is.
You can momentarily bring it back by hitting F9, but that's only if you haven't changed something. So essentially, yeah, it's called the last used function in Blender. So that immediately after you do an action in Blender, sometimes you see in the bottom left-hand corner additional options, which you can tweak and change things if you need. So if you don't see it, it just means you've done something else and it's gone. But yeah, you can bring it back momentarily by hitting F9 sometimes. But I usually just like redo it. Anyways. So first thing I want to change is the size of this thing. So it is 1 meter, which is like 3 feet for the Americans. It's a big donut. Probably shouldn't be that big. It should be about 10% of that. So 0.1, which is 10 centimeters, roughly about that. And then if I zoom in by scrolling forward, I just need to change my minor radius until it looks somewhat like a donut. So I want to just orbit up, right, and around. So I'm just middle mouse moving so I can see the inside. Then I'll just scroll in.
No?
Like so.
Wait, that's so small though.
Yeah, if you hold down Shift, that will use smaller increments. And that's another one you use all the time.
My PC explode.
Because it's, yeah, sometimes you need small values and it's helpful to get smaller increments like that. So that's pretty good. I might go with that.
I like this.
About a 0.057. Okay. And then the other thing you can change here is like the resolution of the donut. You know, you can go like really PlayStation 1 graphics, maybe.
The four-prong donut.
But I'm going to increase the other one to about, yeah, let's go 18. Like
Let's
that.
do that. Oh, wait, crap. Wait, where'd my donut
16.
go?
Change it to smooth. You just right click the object and then go shade smooth.
Oh.
Like that. And there we go. It's fixed. Instead, we're going to do something a little bit easier to start with and more practical, and that's to make a coffee mug.
Okay.
So we need to add in a new object, which if you can remember from before, it's the add menu at the top there, or the hotkey, as I like to use, Shift A. And then underneath mesh, you're looking for something that most resembles the object you're trying to create. No prizes for guessing.
Cylinder.
The cylinder. Okay, so it comes in very, very big. It's completely engulfing our donut. So again, in the bottom left-hand corner, click that little add cylinder, and then I'm going to change the radius first of all, just to bring this back. You can like do this after the fact, like resize something, but it just helps to, you know, at this point, see it all together. I think I'm going to make it around holding down Shift and just kind of drag it back and forth. Yeah, about 0.13 or exactly 0.13.
Yeah.
And then the depth, this is just the height of it. And again, you can change this later on, but just want to see it roughly the right size. The big one that's important is the vertices. And we're actually going to make this look more low res. Now, why would we make it look changes for a future version of Blender? You can also go to search at the top there. And you could just type in solidify from the list.
Wait, solidify.
Okay.
Wait.
So now.
Wait, I missed it. Wait, I missed it. Modifiers?
Modifier at the top there, you can see you've got a number of different options. And the one that we're looking for is solidify. So this is underneath the generate. And just in case this changes for a future version of Blender, you can also go to search at the top there, and you could just type in
there it goes
from the list. Okay. So now that we've got that, you can see we've got a bunch of options, and you'll notice that our mesh now has some thickness to it. And I can change this thickness here. Now, watch what happens as I enter into edit mode. You will notice, as I select these faces here, I can't select this inside part of the cup there. And that's an important point because modifiers are not actually adjusting the real mesh. So the real mesh still exists here. If I disable this from the viewport by clicking this little monitor button there, you'll see that my mesh has not changed. This is just applying this effect after the fact. So it's basically in object mode. It's taking whatever mesh that you give it, which is this, and then it's adding thickness to every face, essentially. So the reason this is so useful is that this is a non-destructive workflow. So I could, at any point, I could be doing a bunch of changes to my mug here. I could, we'll get to all that later on. We could, change the size and things. And then later on I can go, you know what? I think that's a little bit too thick. I'm going to change that.
I think my thickness is perfect. Very quickly, I think it's good.
Non-destructive, and it's obviously very helpful for a lot of things. Okay, so I've given it some thickness, but I also want to round the
corners.
Too jagged, just like
they're very flat.
We're going to add in an extra layer on top,
which
adds more geometry, and that is called your add modifier generate.
Okay, but Tyler, this is actually a question for you. What would be the advantages of doing it this way versus just like I don't know how oh, okay, never mind. Wait, I see the problem now. Never mind. Never mind. I see it now. I understand. I was gonna ask like why not just do the same thing we did with the donut, but obviously that doesn't really work for this one. Since this is a more circular thing, it makes sense for this, but I guess since this is more of a complex shape, it just it doesn't work as well. But yeah.
Subdivision surface. So yeah, all the way down there. You use it all the time, but it's buried in there.
Subdivision surface.
Subdivision surface. So this appears to have screwed up the mesh.
Into a cup.
Whoa, what actually happened there? Let's just increase.
This you will probably learn later. Okay.
So this is just increasing the number of times that it doubles the geometry. So you can see this is what we start with, right? This is the start. This is one level. Then this is 2 levels. And then this is 3 levels, and every time you do it, it's doubling the geometry. So the way I like to save things, and you might want to copy this, is to you come up with a name, underscore whatever,
There.
and then you put a number after it, and then you can actually see I've already saved my file. I don't want to override my existing save in case I need to go back to it for whatever reason. So I just want to add a number to it. And in other softwares, you have to come here and you have to type in the number, right? Not Blender. Blender has a hotkey for everything. If you hit plus or minus on your numpad or on the little field here, oh, you can't even see it. I'm right over the top of it, right there. This little field, these little plus and minus, it'll automatically add a number to the end of your file. So that's, yeah,
I feel like
really
a lot of
useful.
flat
So I'm
files
just
do
gonna
this nowadays,
add,
huh?
a 2 there. Applies to even something as common as a coffee mug. So it helps when possible to
Mug
use
handle.
reference images.
I'm not using
Now, you
reference.
can get reference images from anywhere because we have the power of the internet.
Have the
And you can type in
power.
handmade coffee mug and you can pick any mug you want to create.
Wait, sorry. Ceramic mug. I'm not doing it on the ones I have because I can barely see that screen if I'm being completely honest. I'm watching it on stream with you guys. I'm mostly just following around to the audio. Wait. But look at this. Wait. Crud. Look at this. Dude, they're so scary. Dude, it's so hard to figure out which one I want though. I think it's just this one. Save image as okay. So I have it hidden because little grumbling goblin. Okay, there we go. It's terrible quality, but like wait. Alt R. Alt R. Crud. Oh. Oh. Okay. Alt R. Alt R. No, why it no worky though? Hello?
It's alt rotation and then is because they
Okay, go back.
and then you just pick wherever the reference is and you can drop it in. The alternative way, and it's something that we didn't used to be able to do, and that's to just drag over from wherever it is on your computer and then just drop it into Blender and it will recognize it as an image and it will bring it in as an image object. So either of those ways will work. So this is the image. This is the one we're going to use. Now, if you quickly orbit around, you'll notice that it's come in at a funny angle. Now
it has.
I don't know why Blender does this. I think it's because they think people want it locked to the perspective that they were at when they brought it in there, but that I've never needed that. So we just need to clear this rotation and then rotate it to the way we want. So to clear the rotation, I'm going to hit Alt R. The alternative way, Object, Clear, Rotation, Alt R, same thing.
Wait.
Now it's flat.
Object. Wait.
This like widened point right here, and you can see like from here, like there's a lip at the bottom, but like from here to here, and then it goes up. I'd say probably 20% up the mug. That's where that middle point is. So this line is close, but I'd probably pull it up a little bit. So I'm going to double tap G, and that'll let me slide that edge there, and I'll put it to it's about there. And now I want to pull it out to make it a little bit thicker. So I'm going to hit S. And just pull that out to about there. And now I can see this line here is not quite right. So I'm going to scale this one out as well. Just a little bit. Okay,
I'm sorry, I'm just messing with it.
Shape. Okay. Now this bit at the bottom here. Okay, so I can see already that I need a little bit more detail. So I'm actually going to have to slide this line up here. So I'm going to hit double G. To just kind of slide it.
I think this is the shape I'm just going to stay with.
Now we've got kind of a more curved taper on that edge there, and I'm going to hit S to scale. I'm going to double tap G again, and I'm just by eye, just guessing to try to get this form here. But you can see you can very quickly start to shape any sort of object you want by just moving, sliding lines around, and
Guys, I made an
scaling things.
hourglass.
Okay, so now
The
obviously this
sands.
face at the bottom
The
here. So if I
sands
go
of
into face select
time.
mode, or by just
Oh,
hitting
crap.
3, this has to be, but I can't just like pull it down, right? Because now it's
Okay.
stretching it. I need more geometry. And so that is called an extrusion. And thankfully, the hotkey for extrusion is just the first letter of its name, which is E. E for extrusion.
Ooh.
And just like inset and everything else in Blender, the moment you tap it, you're now in that mode. I can pull it upwards. I could pull it downwards. Obviously, downwards is what we want. So I'm going to do a single click right there. Okay. And then now, if I go back and just look at it in object mode, and by the way, if you want to see it like the donut, you want to make it look smooth, you can as well by going to Shade Smooth. And that's okay, but you can see that this line here, this is a much tighter line, okay? And the reason that this is happening is, of course, because of Subsurf Modifier and the way that it works. It's essentially going from here to here, and then kind of like, I guess, like a midpoint in the middle there, and it's trying to taper from there all the way in. But then also from this point here, it now has to taper from there to kind of smooth out that line. So we end up with just kind of like this like very smoothed out little nub. But to fix it, we just have to add in more geometry so that it doesn't start the smooth so much.
I actually already did that because I added like the little like foot at the bottom. Here, wait, let me go back into like I already added like 3 of them.
Control R. So Control R.
I did the review beforehand.
First, so do a single click on this face here. So click, and then it's now saying where do you want to slide it to. So I'm going to slide 1 to the bottom, like so, and then I need another one right above it. So I did a click there to confirm it. So I'm going to hit Control R, and now I'm placing it on the exact same place, and I'm just going to pull it up. And there we go. And now you can see it's much tighter at the bottom there, and it looks good. And if you really wanted to clean up this bottom base there, you can see we kind of got that like starfishy pattern happening. You can do the same thing we did before, which is select that face there and then do an inset. It's not really that essential. No one's really going to notice it, but this looks really good. Maybe you want to.
This is like the opposite of mine, though.
Yeah, but that's pretty good. That's great. That's a good start to the mug.
Mine looks nothing like my reference.
Awesome. Well done. Now it's time for the challenge of making this handle. So you can see it starts about here, and then obviously extrudes around and goes back into itself and is joined here. So how do we do this? So basically, whenever there is a join, and you can see there's like, you know, like a nice like bevel edge there kind of thing, it has to physically be part of the geometry of this. You can't just have it like existing out in space, because then it won't appear to be joined together. So essentially, we have to find somewhere on this mesh to start the handle from. And that point is actually here, right here, which is why I've modeled it this way. Right here is where I'm going to extrude out.
Hello?
Now, before I show you how
oh, wait, never mind, I have it too.
First of all, I want to show you, I'm going to do something and it's going to mess it up. And I'm going to then show you why we need to do something else first before we start extruding. So if I was to extrude this out, we could do the whole handle here, get it back there, make it look perfect. And then later on, look at our mug and go, oh no, what is going on? The reason this happens is because of, you might remember, the solidify modifier, which these modifiers, they're not part of the mesh, right? It's happening after the fact. So it's adding a thickness to any mesh that we have here. And it's now adding a thickness to the actual handle itself. So how do we fix that? We fix that by making this go from a modifier to real, like actually bake it into the mesh so that it's actually real geometry. And the way you do that is, first of all, let me just undo all of those. Control Z, of course. The way you do it is by going to the modifier, and then in the little drop down in the top there, right next to that little camera icon, there is an apply. So when you click that, it's disappeared. And now when you go into edit mode, though, you can see all that geometry that wasn't there before is now actually part of it. And you can see if you turn off the subsurf modifier. So I can now make changes to the inner part of my model there without it affecting the rest of it. So it's actual real mesh that we can manipulate. Obviously, the downside is it's no longer non-destructive. So that slider that we had for changing the thickness of the mug, we no longer have the slider. It would just mean if we wanted to change the thickness of the mug, we would have to like do it ourselves, like
never
selecting
mind.
all that stuff and doing it. But that's fine. You have to break the workflow eventually to add in customization. But there you go. So, anyways, now that I've got this, now when I select this face here, I can start to do the extrusion. So importantly, make sure you're selecting the right face. If you were to select this one by mistake and then start trying to do your handle and then like twist it around, it would start to get screwed up very, very quickly. So make sure that you've got this red line that's like intersecting your mug there, that it is, yeah, it's like bang on to the middle. And you can actually check if you go into top view mode, it should be directly
mine's on the wrong
of the mug there.
Mine's on the wrong one. Wait, mine's on the wrong one then. Mine's on the wrong one. It's supposed to, no. Wait, is it Y? G, Y. Shift. Explodes and dies. Someone help! What the hell? I didn't know that was actually important. I just kind of like freaking... Actually, it probably wasn't even that important. I'm just being dramatic. Oopsies.
Front view mode with numpad 1, or hitting that little green thing.
Green thing?
I'm going to hit, again, the hotkey that we use for extrusion is E to extrude out. Now, when you do that, it's using the normals, the hidden, it's like the hidden direction of each of the faces that are on your mesh, okay? So it's kind of extruding it out like that. For most of you watching this, the extrusion there worked perfectly. But every now and then you go to extrude something and it doesn't work. And it's because
the wrong one.
There's something wrong with the normals of the face that you tried to extrude from. Basically, it would just mean you would have to clear the normals first. So basically, you would select the face, then hit Shift N, and it would clear normals. Just grabbing, so G to grab, I'm going to move up. And I might actually now, I'm going to tab out so that I can select my image. So I'm in object mode. And I'm actually just going to move this over. So G and then X, move it over.
We're not doing that.
Be about there. Okay. And that'll just enable me to kind of see relative to...
We're not doing that.
Go. Like, what is the shape? I could do it by eye, but yeah, I figure might as well just, it's right there. Might as well just grab it and pull it over. So I need to position this about here, but you can see it's kind of getting like skewed, right? And that is because it's obviously coming in at like this slanted angle. So with that face selected, I need to rotate it. So I'm going to hit R to rotate, like so.
Here, wait, let's do it. Let's do it together. E, confirm. Confirm. G, confirm. R, confirm. Processing. Un momento, por favor. How do I select the interface? Is there no more interface for this? Because I want to... I don't like the way that looks.
Later.
It's not necessarily to make a physically accurate mug.
Exactly.
However, if you want a little bit of a challenge, like a little bit of a homework, where you can try to use some skills but by yourself, you will see, looking at the photo here, that we also have a saucer, a little tiny plate for our mug. Now, I didn't include that in my final image. I just had the coffee mug just sitting on the table. But this is a great, very small thing that you could try to...
I'm not doing that. If you guys think I should do it, I will do it. But my general consensus is that I'm not doing it. Okay, fine. Fine, I'll do the saucer. Do this. I think I made this one a little bit too big. A little bit. Here, hold on. Let me... Did not help. You know what? Scale it. Okay. And then I'll just do it like on axis. Okay. And then I scale it down. Make it a little bit more. Okay. And then the first thing I'm going to do is add... I think right here. I got this already. Right. Here. Shit.
A few minutes later.
Okay, but this is what we have so far. If you guys were following along and doing it along with me, feel free to put what you have so far in the Discord server in art, because this is art. And I think either next week or the week after we'll do a part 2, and we'll do the next tutorial. The next 2 tutorials, because we're gonna do two tutorials a stream, and there are 8 in total, so it'll be about 4 streams. So thank you guys for coming, thank you guys for sticking around and like hanging out with me and stuff, and I hope you guys had a lot of fun watching me struggle and cry while I did this. That handle was very hard. The subtitles fixed by then, for those who need them, and hopefully they will not break again. But yeah, bye bye! Bye bye!